So, yeah, defining Pacific material culture as in general is quite daunting, because in fact there are 4 regions in the Pacific, traditionally divided. Those different areas, even though there have been some historical connection, even prehistorical connection, and that have gone on even up until the moment of contact, are they present very different type of material culture, and different type also of ethnographic information. So the characteristic of the Pacific material culture are very difficult to synthesize in the Pacific, but for the different region you can sort of like find some similarities, and that's always dangerous to make those big generalities. But they are, for example, in Melanesia, one of the things that was characterized by Christian Kaufmann, who was the curator of the museum in Basel, ethnographic museum in Basel, talked about the 5 characteristics of Melanesian material culture, which is the diversity of material, even sometimes on the same object. Here it's more like object with a single type of material. The second, the absolute disinterest for any representation of reality, like copying what the eyes see. The third one is the role of mobility, how most of those artifacts are connected to specific space, ceremonial spaces, gendered spaces, and etc. The other one is diversity of material, the link with a space, movement, something that we often forgot, and that's valid for many museum objects. A lot of those objects were meant to move, to be used. If we take the pig trap here, I mean, lay down here on the table, it's dead. It's dead. It's supposed to be moved. The mask here would have been on a yam, which would have, those two in fact, which would have balanced on the log on which it is suspended. So we need to think about the movement. And the last one is, often, and that's something which is quite important, often those representation that show some figures or features that human-like, we cannot really identify them as representing specific figure, like a divinity, like the proper iconography of, for example, Greek. This is Athena, this is Mars, or etc. So often, and that's the case also in Africa, in many other non-Western area, if you will. So those are 5 characteristics. In Polynesia, it's a different type of production because of the history of connection. We've got a lot of things that are connected to divinity, because there was a pantheon in Melanesia, in Micronesia also. So you see, it's very difficult to establish a generality, but all of them, in fact, have the specificity of being part of, not necessarily only as passive thing, but as agent themselves of social relations between generation, between gender, between different communities, and also with the invisible domain, the world of spirits, etc. So, and that the social nature of artifacts that make them social. Here we divide material culture with social anthropology, but in fact, material culture is the social anthropology of things and people together.